What small thing pisses you off more than usual? People who act like they are more important than everyone else when getting off a flight. People who lose all common courtesy while traveling. Holy moly. This reminds me of this one time I came home from a business trip. This lady just cuts me off and starts explaining how she should be able to cut me off to get off the damn plane first. It's like, bro, I don't care. Just stop talking. You don't need to explain to me why you need to cut me off. Especially if you're going to take 10 minutes to explain to me why you need to get off the plane first. Like if you had just said, explosive diarrhea. Out of my way. That would have been more effective, whether it was true or not, and people would get it. Frick. When your curtain leaves a tiny gap letting a ray of sunshine penetrate your eyeballs. It's always aimed directly at your pillow too. When I see some just leave their shopping cart in the lot when they are right next to the cart return. Was out with my girlfriend a while back and I watched a stray cart get hit by wind and barrel straight into someone's passenger door. Wouldn't have happened if someone put their cart away properly. The fitted sheet coming off the mattress in the middle of the night. It's like an alarm clock that is going off right next to my ear. Impossible to ignore. I can't fall back to sleep unless I put the sheet back on. People who stand in front of exits/entrances having a conversation. Right there. Blocking the way. Blocking the aisle in a grocery store is equally infuriating, especially when they are standing in front of something you need. People not letting people off the subway or out of elevators. Getting off the subway, I just keep walking through them while yelling I have to get out before you get in. That's how this works. And it usually helps. Getting home after being out all day, taking off my pants, shoes, etc. and then having to go back out for something stupid. Once my wife takes her bra off for the day, it engages a 12-hour emotional lockdown where she wouldn't step outside for a herd of the world's cutest puppies giving away gold bars. Ants in the kitchen. Ants anywhere in the house. Grocery store shoppers that leave their cart in the middle of the aisle so no one can pass by as they bend over to read labels. They seem oblivious to others trying to get by and don't take the hint when a shopper makes a sound to get their attention. That's when you ram their cart. People who always try to one-up your situation. Tell them you've got a cold and they'll respond, I've had pneumonia for 10 years. Or some crap. My sister dated a guy like this for a few years. It was so freaking annoying. Anytime I described something happening to me, he'd always come up with something one-up my story. I started calling him One-Up Pete. People continuing to explain something to me after I've said I know at least thrice. My old roommate was a really heavy drinker and he'd always go into the same collection of stories when he was trashed. You've told me this did nothing. He'd still tell the entire story. After 2 years, there were stories I'd literally heard 8 to 12 times. It was a relief to move. People asking questions and then not listening for the answer. I have a different job now because my last boss did this so often. Any sticker that you can't peel off in one piece. Absolutely infuriating. Mine is specific to books. Stop putting your gross bud stickers on my $30 book. The type of people who can never just admit they screwed up. Doesn't matter how small the mistake is. When confronted, they always have an excuse or a story. Just freaking say I'm sorry and move on. I don't need an essay on why you did what you did. It's not that big of a deal. I know someone that refuses to ever accept they were wrong, let alone apologize for it. They are infallible, and it's so frustrating. Safe to say we don't talk much anymore. Birds that fly in front of cars. You have the whole sky, damn it. Those squirrels that sit near the road and dart across the moment you get there but instead decide to live at the last second and turn back. You think you're safe and continue on only for them get confused, turn back around, and die on accident anyway. Fricks. People walking 10% slower than you in front of you, while you have no opportunity to pass them. Or the group of 4 to 5 people who walk in a damn formation, so that no one shall pass. Frick them too. I can't stand being told you chose whether your day is good or bad. When talking to someone about having a bad day, I know focusing on the positive is good, but sometimes I'm just having a crappy day. People who talk down about themselves hoping you'll disagree and compliment them. At my first job I ran into this. There was this young 20-ish woman who would always say she was overweight, only it was all the time because she wanted validation about how thin she was, and to be honest she was overly thin. One day I was sick of her crap and said, "Karen, you do look like you've been eating a few too many snacks. Maybe hit the gym or something." Holy heck, did I get a death glare from her. Washing a spoon and making myself wet with a flood wave. In a similar vein, stepping on a wet floor while wearing socks. Please kill me. When there is something round in the back of my car that rolls every time I take a corner and it's too far away for me to just grab it to make it stop. I absolutely hate it when someone is out in public, takes a phone call, and puts their phone on speaker. And to that same end, if you're checking out at a store, please have the courtesy to at least get off of the phone and speak to the person ringing you up. At the very least, put the phone down and take care of your business. When I worked retail, I would always speak to a person who was checking out with me at a louder than normal volume if they were talking on the phone. When one sock randomly slides down as you are walking. People that leave lights on or water running. Getting in my car after someone else was in it and having to readjust my seat, mirrors and the volume on the radio. Unexpectedly getting earbuds ripped out of my ears. Usually it's when I'm walking and the cord gets caught on something, but that is 0 to 100 real quick. People eating my food without asking 100%. While at a restaurant, people just needing to have the volume on their phones turned up to maximum while they either listen to trash music or let their kid play some game, and said game sounds like a damn slot machine. Nobody around you wants to hear it. Also with earbuds in, something catching the cord and having them violently ripped out of your ears. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, you can check another video.